Hello ladies and gentlemen and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today's video, it is going to be another Let's Discuss. So for those of you who are newer to the channel, these Let's Discuss videos are meant to take away the green screen, take away the lights, the hair, the button-up shirt, all the glitz and glam of Hollywood, and instead get my mostly unfiltered and unedited thoughts on just about anything, be it movies, TV, video games, the latest controversies, the biggest rumors. This is where I just sit down and essentially straight talk. And for today's subject, well, if you click on the video, you should already know that it's kind of a rant, and I'm not normally one to rant unless something really pisses me off, and I am sad to report that this has really pissed me off. And that is the fact that I firmly now believe that Disney just straight up hates physical media and its physical media collectors. So just allow me to explain myself a little bit here. The situation I am discussing is the IMAX Enhanced MCU movies that will be on Disney+. Well, the movies are already on Disney+, but there will be an IMAX Enhanced feature. This was announced a few days ago. I believe it was on November 8th, just a few short days before Disney Plus Day, which took place today on November 12th. And it was announced that I think 12 or 13 of the MCU's movies would be getting this IMAX Enhanced feature, which basically means that they're going to be getting the full screen experience and not have the black letterboxed bars that most movies do. Now, I get that this video is not going to pertain to everyone. If you can see behind me here, there is, a big shelf full of hundreds of Blu-rays, okay? I am a physical collector, as are most of my friends on YouTube. Most people that cover movies, movie news, movie reviews are physical collectors, okay? We love our physical media, and I'm no different. I have collected Blu-rays for years. I will continue to collect Blu-rays for as long as they are making them. It's just what I do. It's my hobby. It's what I love. So this has really struck a bit of a chord with me. The reason I want to talk about it and also address firstly that it's not going to pertain to everyone, because I know that a lot of people are going to be very excited about this. For people who don't collect physical media, which I think nowadays is the vast majority of people, this is exciting news, and I'm happy for you. This video isn't targeted towards you. You have every right in the world to be happy about this IMAX Enhanced feature. I'm happy that you're happy, okay? I'm not taking jabs at you. I'm not aiming this video at you. This is strictly calling out Disney for their bullshit, because I'm pissed. As a physical media collector, I am indeed pissed off, and I will explain why I'm pissed off. So I guess the best place to start off is the fact that Disney didn't start releasing 4K versions of the MCU movies until I believe 2017 with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which means you have almost a decade of MCU movies that only got the Blu-ray and DVD treatment and not the 4K treatment. But shortly after that, Disney announced that they would be re-releasing all of their older MCU movies in the 4K format. Now at this point in time, I had already collected all of the MCU movies on their standard Blu-rays, and then just from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 onwards, I started collecting the movies in their 4K formats, which I was cool with, honestly. Like, that was fine. They transitioned halfway through. I started buying the 4Ks instead because I have a 4K TV, I have a 4K player, I have a Dolby Atmos soundbar. It's the way I want to watch my movies, and if it's an available format, then that's the way I'm going to watch them. I did not buy all of these re-releases right off the hop because I wasn't willing to drop that much cash on movies I already had, but steadily over time, I kept an eye out for sales on Best Buy and Amazon and whatnot, found the best deals with, good enough quality on eBay, and then eventually I was able to recollect all of the old MCU movies while also continuing to purchase the new MCU movies in the 4K format. Once everything was collected, I sold my old Blu-rays, bing bang boom, Bob's your uncle. That was cool, that was fine. The thing with this is that, one, I bought all these movies the first time around, then I rebought them all, and we, as physical collectors, begged to have the IMAX sequences or the IMAX versions, because some of these movies like Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame were shot completely in IMAX. But instead, every single one of the MCU movies, I think except for the first Avengers re-release in 4K, have the black letterbox bars and don't even have the IMAX sequences in them. We begged, I mean begged, to have the IMAX sequences put back into these movies for their 4K releases, and Disney just flat out didn't. But okay, cool, whatever. So the only way you were able to enjoy these movies in IMAX, in the IMAX format, or at least in full screen, because nothing can really replicate at home what the IMAX format is in an IMAX theater. But that was cool, okay? If you missed it in theaters, then, you know, you don't have it. You just have the black letterbox bars, but it's in 4K, and you gotta deal with it. Cool. But I probably finished collecting these movies about 6 months ago. I mean, like, recollecting all the old releases. And now, all of a sudden, out of the blue, Disney announces that they're partnering with IMAX for Disney Plus exclusive releases of IMAX Enhanced versions of these movies. Seriously? I mean, again, we begged. And the thing is that even the newer movies, like Endgame and Infinity War, we begged for this. Basically everything short of getting on our hands and knees and kissing Mickey Mouse's ass to get these IMAX sequences, and it didn't happen. Like, my God, man. I don't know what else we can do as physical collectors. To me, it's just the most blunt and obvious statement that Disney could make. And here's a quick little, kind of, not like a mini rant, but it's just spitting facts here. And it's probably going to rub some people the wrong way, and I apologize, because again, I'm not taking aim at anyone in particular here, aside from Disney as a media company. So essentially, 4K streaming is not exactly up to par with 4K discs, at least right now. And I know a lot of people are going to argue on that and say that I'm just being bitter, and you're right, I am being bitter, I am here ranting, I'm being, you know, I'm sulking, whatever you want to say, but it's the truth, okay? To have good 4K streaming, first off, you have to have internet strong enough to stream in 4K, and if you want to watch the full movie beginning to end in 4K, you need to have a steady enough stream. So you have to have a strong, steady enough connection to be able to watch these movies in 4K, and that's like an ideal world, because obviously Wi-Fi can be very unpredictable. It's not the same. In an ideal world, again, with a very strong connection, a very steady connection that doesn't, you know, dip and stutter and things like that, you can stream and the quality for that in 4K is about 90% of what you get on a disc. There's different things that go into it, like compression and bitrate and all these other sort of little boobs and bobs. Where it definitely falters is the audio. The audio is not the same, especially for those who have like a full surround sound Dolby Atmos setup and stuff. The audio side of things for 4K streaming is definitely not up to par. That's batting at like 40% compared to a disc. So 4K streaming and 4K Blu-ray discs are not on the same level. And that's a big reason why I collect them, because I want the best quality for my favorite movies. I'm not bashing anybody. I have all the streaming services, Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus. I have all of them. I watch movies in 4K all the time, and I enjoy the quality for what it is. It's really good. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, 90% is a damn good. Some people might even say up to like 95% comparable to a disc. So I'm not bashing people who enjoy their streamer, who only stream and don't, you know, collect physical media. That's cool. If you watch all your movies that way, that's perfectly fine by me. But the fact that I have to decide between watching my 4K disc that I paid a lot of money for, or if I want to watch the IMAX Enhanced versions, I have to go on Disney Plus and watch it that way. So the fact that there's a choice for me now, it just feels like such a slap in the face, such a middle finger to all physical media collectors that they went and did this. And I'll say this too, I can maybe understand why the re-releases didn't have them. Maybe it didn't work. Maybe the way that the IMAX sequences were shot didn't fit with the 4K Blu-rays at the time. Maybe they didn't have permission or they didn't have access to the IMAX sequences. Anything could have went wrong. I don't understand the whole business side of this, and that's cool, okay? Like, I don't get all of it all the time. For movies that were recently released, like Avengers Endgame or Avengers Infinity War, which were shot entirely in IMAX, or Black Widow, which came out like 2 months ago, and the worst offender, the worst of all in my mind right now, because this is the one that really drove me to make this video. I was ranting on Twitter, but this one made me make a video, and that is the fact that Shang-Chi, that one was released today on November 12th on Disney Plus with the IMAX Enhanced version. So it's full screen. Because again, nothing can, I'm sorry, no matter how good your home theater setup is, or your TV is, and the quality and stuff like that, you're not watching it in IMAX. You're watching it IMAX Enhanced. It's just the full screen version, basically, which is better for sure, but it's not giving you the full IMAX experience. That released today on Disney Plus, and depending on where you're located, I think for me, I have my Steelbook for Shang-Chi ordered, and it doesn't come until November 30th. And my 4K Steelbook version of the movie is not in IMAX. They released it the same time. The Disney Plus version has the IMAX, and my 4K Blu-ray doesn't. So you see what I'm getting at here, and they just openly chose to not include the IMAX versions on the 4K Blu-ray disc, and instead only lock it exclusively to Disney Plus. I'm hoping that whether you collect physical media or not, you can understand my frustrations as a physical media collector. The movie comes out at the same time on Disney Plus and physical media, and they just didn't go with the IMAX on the physical media. Like, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And basically, what happens next? Like, where can this whole situation go next? Well, there's one of two places it can go. The first is the more likely option, and that is essentially that things are just going to stay the same. They're going to say, yep, IMAX Enhanced on Disney Plus, and ha, gotcha, suckers. Thanks for your cash, and just leave the 4K re-releases and the 4K releases going forward, as is with the black letterboxed bars. The second option is that they look for more of our money and they re-release these movies once again in 4K with the IMAX sequences or IMAX versions back into the discs and look for more of our money. I don't like either one of these options. I'm pissed off that I have to choose between watching the 4K disc that I paid for or watching the IMAX Enhanced version on Disney Plus, which I also pay for, and I don't want to buy them again, because it was hard enough to try and find good deals on these movies throughout the course of like 2 years to where I was satisfied, and then I finally collected them all. I don't want to have to go on the hunt collecting 12 or 13 MCU movies again just so I can have the IMAX versions. The last little thing I'll say is that I don't hate Disney, obviously. I mean, I hate whoever handles the, the physical media side of things. Yeah, I do not like you, but I don't hate Disney as a company, no matter, how many bad things people say. I'm definitely a Disney shill. I love the MCU. I love Star Wars. I love Pixar. I love the Disney animated original movies. I love Disney and will continue to love Disney. Today was Disney Plus Day, and there's a fairly good chance that I'm going to do some sort of video discussing everything that was announced today. This, to me, and this is the last thing I'll say, was just a very blunt, very obvious, and just, it was a middle finger to the face. It was a slap in the face to physical media collectors. This just, to me, shows their stance on physical media. Okay, a lot of people already knew once Blockbuster got phased out in other video rental stores. Now the selection at your local Best Buy is definitely getting smaller and smaller. Physical media in the coming years is likely on its way out, and I know that. Disney just seems to be fast-tracking this process by pulling bullshit like this, and it's really annoying, and it really pisses me off, and it's sad to see, because I love physical media, and I know a lot of people still collect physical media. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, the only thing I can do is make this little video here ranting about it and sharing my thoughts and feelings, and that's what this Let's Discuss series is for, is just for me to get on here and just talk, essentially. And sadly, today was a rant, and I don't normally rant. I'm not an angry person. I don't like to be angry. I don't like to hop on YouTube and rant and bitch and complain. This just really bugs me because I'm seeing so many people go on about it all the time. Disney is promoting it super heavily, and I'm just sitting here with my 4Ks that I just finished collecting, or my brand new Shang-Chi Steelbook, not having any of the IMAX sequences in any of them. It's so irritating. It's unbelievably irritating. Regardless, folks, wherever you stand on this, that is all for today's video. So be sure to let me know down in the comments below. Are you with me? Are you a physical media collector and you too are very upset at this situation? Or do you think I'm just, making a mountain out of a molehill because you just stream anyway and you don't really care and you think I'm being just a big baby? And while you're down in the comment section, feel free to let me know of a topic that you might want to see me discuss for whatever reason and, get my thoughts and feelings and opinions on it. Whatever it is, drop it down below. If I read it and I think it's something that's interesting and I might want to talk about, maybe I will. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you'd like to see more content, consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that little bell icon. That way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching, and that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you, and while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.